Do you have the right mindset to own commercial real estate? Well, most people don't, and that's why they own none. Yes, there are challenges you have to overcome in order to buy your first commercial property, but by far, in my experience, the biggest obstacle is stinking thinking. That's right, stinking thinking. I'm going to share with you what the wrong mindset is and why it stops you in your tracks. I'm also going to share with you what the right mindset is so that you can begin your journey on buying your first commercial property. Hello everyone, I'm Peter Harris with Commercial Property Advisors. I'm author of this book, Commercial Real Estate Investing for Dummies. I'm also author of my new best-selling book, Commercial Real Estate for Beginners. I'm also a coach and mentor to many commercial real estate investors all across this country. Today I'm going to ask and answer the question, do you have the right mindset to own commercial real estate? I'm going to address real quick 4 things. Number 1 is, what is the right mindset that brings breakthrough in owning your first commercial property, no matter what your economic or financial status is? Number 2, what the wrong mindset is that causes you to stand still and watch as everyone else prospers. Number 3, where did the wrong mindset come from? Where did it originate from? I'm going to share that with you. And lastly, number 4, how to replace the wrong mindset with the right mindset in order to begin your journey on buying your first commercial property. Let's get started. All right, here we are. Before I get started on sharing with you what the right mindset is, let me share with you what the wrong mindset is. All right, here's the wrong mindset. I call it the customer mindset. That's right, customer mindset. A person with this mindset, with the customer mindset, is focused on the cost of something, not the benefit. They are focused on, can I afford it? Again, they're not focused on the benefit. And lastly, they're focused on, if I spend something, I'll end up with less. Again, with the combination of all 3, they're not focusing on the benefit. The result of that is they have a belief system that only the rich can afford commercial real estate. This is the reason why a person with a customer mindset doesn't own any commercial real estate, right? Here's what happens, right? A person with a customer mindset immediately starts to count themselves out, number 1, right? Number 2, they begin to be intimidated by the cost of commercial real estate. Now, the result of those two, with counting yourselves out and being intimidated, it causes them to become mentally blocked, right? And when you become mentally blocked in commercial real estate, guess what happens? You're not thinking about if you can buy the property with creative financing, which we do a lot in our company. They're also not thinking about using seller financing to do their first acquisition. They surely aren't thinking about our favorite technique, which is the master lease agreement. And lastly, without a doubt, they're not thinking about raising capital for their first deal. So what happens is, because they count themselves out, they're intimidated, and lastly, there's a mental block. Guess what happens? They negate every commercial real estate opportunity that gets in front of them. Every deal that comes before them is negated. They believe that they can't do it because of those reasons. So, I have a question for you. Do you have a customer mindset? Do you? Well, before you answer that question, I'd like to share with you an example of what one looks like. What does a customer mindset look like? I'm going to give you 3 really quick examples. Here's example number 1. A person with a customer mindset says this: Peter, property renovations cost too much, right? That's a person with a customer mindset. That's a person who's focused on the cost of something rather than the benefit. I'm going to share with you really quick of a real deal, of an example of one of our student deals. He bought a 24-unit property where there was only 1 water meter, right? And he was paying $26,000 a year. He's paying for all the tenants' water. And he decided, because he has the right mindset, to spend the money to individual meter out the water, right? And it's going to cost him $1,000 per unit, per apartment unit. So we have 24 units times $1,000. It's going to cost him $24,000 to do the conversion, right? So once the conversion is done, that $26,000 a year in water is passed off to the tenants. That $26,000 goes to his cash flow, goes to his bottom line. Now, that's benefit number one, right? Benefit number two is, as you guys know from watching my previous videos, as the NOI goes up, so does the property value, right? So if the NOI goes up by $26,000 and he's in a 8% cap rate area, we can divide the $26,000 by 8% and come up with $325,000 in increased property value, right? So as the NOI jumped up by $26,000, the property value went up by $325,000. A person with a customer mindset would not spend $24,000 to get that benefit. Got it? Let's move on. Number two, example number two, a person who has a customer mindset is a person who buys a low-cost commercial property, right, only because they can afford it, right? That is a customer mindset. You see, in my world, in a commercial world, right, there's no such thing as low and high price, okay? No such thing, don't care about it, doesn't exist. Also, secondly, in my world, there is no such thing as cheap and expensive. Don't care about it, we'll never even consider it. What is important though, for those of us with the right mindset is, does it have a low ROI or a high ROI? Okay? A person with the right mindset is focused on return on investment. Got it? A person with the customer mindset is focused on if the price is high or low. They focus on if it's cheap or expensive. That's the wrong mindset. Let me give you a third example. Our country goes through ebbs and flows in the economy. Sometimes when there's a recession, financial hurt happens, right? People lose properties, people lose property value, people lose properties, right? The person with the customer mindset, a previous failure has caused them to give up the dream of owning commercial real estate. In fact, they say now that real estate is not for them or that they cannot recover from that failure. That is a person with a customer mindset. In just a few short minutes, I'm going to share with you how to make a comeback if that's you. But in the meantime, I have a big question for you. Here's the big question. Is this one of you? Do you have a customer mindset? Do you? Well, you don't have to answer that question right now, because what I want to do first is I want to go over with you what the source of the customer mindset is. You know, where does it come from? Let's do that next before I share with you what the right mindset is. Where did this customer mindset come from? I have three sources to share with you. The first source, it probably came from your parents and upbringing. The customer mindset has been ingrained in you since birth. Number two, society. Company spends billions of dollars in advertisements on the internet, TV, and radio, in advertisements to bombard you with the customer mindset to keep their companies going. So what it does, it causes you to conform, right, to what they advertise, to be average, and to stay within your limits. A person with the right mindset does not conform, does not have a goal to be average, and certainly does not stay within his limits. Now, the third source of customer mindset is taking the path of least resistance in terms of thinking. You see, thinking is difficult, and that's why a lot of people don't do very much of it, right? So here's what happens. A person with a customer mindset who desires to own commercial real estate doesn't go together. Just like oil and water do not go together, right? Does not go together. So doesn't a person with a customer mindset wanting to own commercial real estate. In fact, they're probably better off not owning commercial real estate. And the reason why is it will probably lead to an eventual failure. Okay? All right, so that's what I want to share with you on where did the customer mindset come from. The last part I'm going to share with you is what the right mindset looks like. Finally, here is the right mindset to own commercial real estate. I call it the entrepreneur mindset. You see, the entrepreneur mindset is focused on ROI, right? Return on investment. Return on investment, right? They'll ask 4 questions generally when an opportunity appears. Number 1 is, how can I acquire that property, right? That's the mindset. How can I acquire it, right? The second question is, what funding sources would love to be part of my deal? And number 3, what benefit would I get out of buying this property? Would it get me closer to retirement? Will it get me closer to leaving my job? I don't know, but there should be a benefit to doing this deal. And number 4, what actions? This is what it's about. What actions do I need to take to meet my investment objectives? Again, is it to leave my job? Is it to build a retirement? Is it build a portfolio? Is it to build a ministry, to do charity work? I don't know what it is, but there needs to be action, massive action taken to meet your goals. The secondary focus of a person with an entrepreneur mindset, and this is really true, is their focus is on their, I call it my wealth ratio, okay? Wealth ratio is a very, very important number. What it is, here's the equation. It's your passive income stream divided by your monthly living expenses, right? So once your passive income stream equals your monthly expenses, equals each other, that equation equals 1. That means you are out of the rat race, right? So the focus here is on developing and increasing your passive income stream through commercial real estate. Ideally, if you can get your wealth ratio up to 1.5, I would say you are safe to leave your job, okay? Reaching 1 is monumental and it's great, but get to 1.5 and I would feel much better of giving you the thumbs up to leave your job, okay? So that's something you should shoot for. All right, the other thing that I did promise to you earlier where I would discuss with you how to make a comeback from failure. Well, many entrepreneurs have had failures in their lives, right? But the person with the entrepreneur mindset makes a comeback. And so I'm going to share with you what the comeback plan looks like. Now, the person with the entrepreneur mindset, they do not let past failures define their future. They don't, right? They don't. Now, here's a plan for their comeback that works, okay? It's been tested. Number 1 is when you're coming back from failure, don't take your failure personal. Get over it. It happened. It's in the past. You have to move forward, okay? Number 2, get knowledge that you haven't had before. Get a mentor. Do something that you haven't had before. This is the second part of making your comeback. Number 3 is you need to jump back in. Okay? Once you get your knowledge, once you get a mentor, someone to help you, you need to jump back in. But this time, you are going to measure twice, and cut once. Okay? So you're able to do that better now because you have a knowledge and you have help. And lastly, number 4, really important now on making this comeback is only invest in cash flowing commercial real estate. Okay? Long term, if I need to say that. Cash flow commercial real estate, long term. Gone are the days of speculating, and gone are the days of waiting for the market to turn to invest. The time to invest is now, but we only invest in cash flow commercial real estate. And that's what our company focuses on. Okay? All right, so this is the entrepreneur mindset. This is the winning mindset. If you want to own commercial real estate, you need to have this mindset. You focus on return on investment. You focus on the benefit. You have a can-do attitude. You take off the limits. That's how you become successful in this business. All right, so the last thing I want to do today is I would like to share just in very practical terms what this entrepreneur mindset looks like in terms of commercial real estate. What does the entrepreneur mindset look like? I'm going to give you 2 quick examples. here's two situations. First situation is you found an apartment deal and it can significantly dent your wealth ratio, right? In fact, this one deal can most likely put you out of the rat race, okay? Next is you're short on a down payment. Sound familiar? Most of you are like that. Now you're getting back on your feet, all right? So maybe some credit issues, you had some past failures, but now you're ready to go and you've been working on your mindset, all right? So a person that is in this situation with the entrepreneur mindset, here's what they're going to do. They're going to get help. They're going to get a mentor. They're not going to try to do this by themselves. It's too risky, it takes too long, and there's too much at risk, actually, right? Next is they're going to evaluate the deal, but this time they're going to evaluate the deal with help, expert help. Next, they're going to find the money and the credit partner. That's what they're going to do next. I'm not going to share in this video how to do that. Watch my previous videos on syndication and raising capital, and you'll see how this is done. Lastly, they're going to get the deal done. A person with an entrepreneur mindset gets things done. All right, here's situation number 2. You found a commercial building, and once again, it can significantly put a dent in your wealth ratio, if not take you out of the rat race. So it's a significant deal, right? It can utterly change your life. What do? You have a little bit of money saved up, you have good credit, so perhaps you have a down payment. But guess what? You never jumped in. This is you. You never jumped in. For whatever reason. It could be fear, it could be, I don't know, but maybe perhaps right now could be the time in your life that you know you need to do something. Got it? The person who's in this situation with the entrepreneur mindset, here's what they would do. They would get expert help. Same as this person. You start off with getting help. Don't try to do this by yourself. Next, you would get knowledge. The reason why knowledge for this person is really important is because if you don't get knowledge, the fear would dominate you and you'll be stuck here. You'll never jump in. Next is you would assemble your team. Smart, right? This is very smart to assemble a team. Again, I'm not going to share with you how to assemble a team. That's in the previous video. Next is you would jump in. An entrepreneur was just, with the entrepreneur mindset, is a person that would jump in after you have your expert help, you have knowledge, and you have your team. They're ready to go. Now, let me ask you the question. Are you a person with a customer mindset, or do you have an entrepreneur mindset? The key to go from a customer mindset to an entrepreneur mindset is 2 things. Number 1 is I want you to focus on not the old, right? But I want you to focus on building the new. The second thing I want you to do is go ahead and watch all of my videos. I can almost guarantee you that if you watch all my videos, your mindset will shift to the entrepreneur mindset because those videos are built for success. All right, so thank you so much today for joining me. I value your time. Thank you so much for watching. Do you have the right mindset to own commercial real estate? If you want more videos like this, please go onto our website, commercialpropertyadvisors.com, or simply subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll see you at the next video.